All right, folks, welcome back to the West Coast. Today I want to give you some sort of idea of how the farm economics work in our new model. What we've got is a map that has a minimum of 6 farms. Those are 6 farms that Bullet Bill has put into the map that run just fine. But anybody who knows about farming knows that you don't really need to have the big buildings and the whole kit and caboodle to have a farm. If you've got a field and a house, you can have a farm. It just means, you got to make do in terms of equipment storage and manufacturing, and, you're not going to be able to have cows if you don't have a dairy farm handy. So we've had a choice to pick any of the farms we wanted in the house, in the map. DeltaBravo chose the pig farm, but you see this house here? That's a farm. You could set up shop around that farm and just buy that one field and have a farm, which is what I chose to do. I picked a random house on the map. I made that my home base. Then I picked the potato and sugar beet areas, because that allows me to have some storage for your equipment. And I set up a farm up there. There's 2 farmyards on this one. So on this side, I believe he's got a silage operation going in cooperation with Adam. They share a lot of equipment, and they're doing a silage business together. So they're strictly running silage. Adam is also running there's their first bunker full of silage that they've made already, and that was just on first growth of the fields. And where do I put this? They got a big loader in here too. Yeah, they have some serious equipment, these guys. But that's why they're $1.5 million in the hole, and I'm not. Anyway, we just got to remember to get fuel for that at some point. So I'm going to be borrowing Waja's tractor. This tractor right here. Let's just disconnect the front end on it, because I don't need that. And start her up. Back her up. As I mentioned, I need this tractor because of its ability to put row crop tires on, for no other reason. So I'm going to leave his weight here too. Drop that down. Hang on a second. And release that. Good. All right. So there's a fair amount of bartering that's going on in our economy. So what I've done here is Adam and John did some work for me. They collected some tree branches and stuff. I gave them the wood chips for that. So they get to collect the profits from the wood chips, no problem. In exchange, I'm going to borrow this tractor for a few hours. And the one other thing that I need is a weeder. So I bargained with Alan. Alan happens to own a weeder, and I just need it for a few hours. So spending $31,000 on a weeder makes no sense at all when your neighbor's got one. So a little bit of wear and tear on that weeder, but if he can get something in return, then so be it. And what Alan got in return for me using his weeder is that I did 5 trips of water, because I live near the water, so I could pick up water and I can fill up his temporary water tank. Because if you get water on this map from the faucet at your farm, you get charged for it, and you get charged a lot. If you get water from the water table, from the water plane on the map, it's free. So for a little bit of effort, I put in 5 or 6 loads of water up at his farm, which he gets to use for free. I mean, he bought the storage tank, but he wanted that anyway. And in exchange, I get to use his weeder. So that's one way that the bargaining system works. With this tractor here, I'm going to use it for a few hours. I'm going to get all my fields weeded to give me, well, 2 of my fields weeded because the other 2 don't need it. And in exchange, what John is going to get is the option of putting row crop tires on this tractor anytime he feels like, because once I bought them, they stay with the tractor. So he can swap back and forth the row crop tires anytime he pleases. Some things you can bargain like that. Some things you can't. If it involves the economy within the game, you have to balance the books, is what we're doing. So we're running a spreadsheet on the side, and I'll give you a quick tour of that. But that is separate, that is separate from the barter economy that's existing within the farms and between the farmers. And we hire each other to do jobs. If you need someone to cart, we've set the wage, the hourly wage on the server at $1,000. So I can hire anybody I want to come and do some carting for me, or to deliver some stuff, or to come and windrow a field. And all I got to do is pay them $1,000 an hour, and we're good. Sounds like a lot, but actually, within farm sim economics, when an unskilled laborer will cost you up to $1,800, getting a skilled laborer for $1,000 is an absolute bargain. So, let's see here. This is a beautiful farm. I love the approach to this farm. This is the sheep farm up here. So where am I? So he mentioned it was behind here. Let's see here. Where are we? Oh, okay. There's that weeder. There it is. Beautiful. Perfection. Nice and gently. And back she goes. Right about there. Good. Let's see if that hooks up. Not quite. Nice and gentle. Okay. Let's see if that works now. Yep, that's much better. Okay, hook that up. Lift it up, took off the ground. Beautiful. Good. Forward gear. And we're off. Okay. Try not to hit anything on the way out. So there's his water tank right there. So I about half filled that water tank for him. So he's golden now. He's got lots. He's got silage bales already made. He's got his sheep that are earning him from wool. So Roger's going to do, Alan's going to do quite well. I'm thinking Roger because I'm in Roger's tractor. So let's see here. Down we go. Try not to hit anything on the way out. Okay. And off we go. I've been in France for a few weeks, so I have to keep reminding myself not to drive on the wrong side of the road. Okay, go down to the shop and get myself a set of tires. Oddly enough, nobody's got a workshop on their farm yet. So we gotta go to the main one. Still on the wrong side of the road. Oh yeah, the BGA. Allard's taken over the BGA. He's moved into that. Because all he wants to do is silage, so it fits. It'll work for him. Alright. Okay, just gotta drop this off against the fence here. Right about there should be fine. Like that. And bring this guy into the shed to do some repairs. The boys down here at the dealership will help me out. Alright. Turn that off. Good. Manning's Agri. Let's see. Customizing. I want to put narrow tires on it. So, narrow tires cost me $800. And the total price is $1,000. I'm not sure why what that is. So I think it's just for the labor. I think that it's already included in the price. Let's just keep an eye on the money at the top there. See what it does. Purchase for $1,000. Yes. Yep, that's it. $1,000. So now we've got a skinny tired MB track. So what I need to do now is tab over to my sheet, add in $1,000 for narrow wheels on John's MB track. Done. Okay. Now that's $1,000 that is accounted for. So, yeah, no, the Roger thing is going to be confusing, but that's just because on our multiplayer server, Roger is the owner of this tractor, and because we're playing the economics, and we have a bunch of tractors on the server that we own for $1, it makes sense for us to be buying our own tractors into the game instead of trying to buy stuff that's either modded or in-game. There you go. Good. So John picked up a couple of tractors. Amongst them, he got Roger's machine to be able to save on some money. Save on some startup money. And off we go. So there we go. So there you go. That is a brief glimpse of what we are trying to accomplish in terms of a farm economy within FarmSim. At some point, it would be amazing if somebody built a mod that did this within the game. Giants has acknowledged that such a thing is necessary when they put in the ability to give some players money within the escape menu. They know that this is a necessary thing. But there's, as of yet, no way to log in to a multiplayer and make it entirely broken up by player. Make the economy broken up by player, if you know what I mean. So that's what we're trying to basically invent or replicate. And if you're a modder out there and you understand how the economics of this game work, and you're interested in getting involved in this little project of ours, please, please, please call us. We'd like to talk to you. Okay, let's see what we got here. So these are my potato fields. I just need to make absolutely certain, because they keep updating the For Real mod. Make sure I don't destroy stuff. Step on them, back up. Yes, it worked. Good. So, unfold that. See if I can do it without hitting anything. And there we have it. Beautiful. Ups and downs. Alright, so this is a weeder. So the concept, I guess, is that when you're in first stage of growth, these little doohickeys here just spin around and rip weeds out from between the plants. And that gives you the ability to replace pesticides or stuff like that. If you're doing organic farming, you can't use pesticides. So this is one way of doing that. I'm not sure how that works in real life, if it works in real life, but in Farm Sim, that's how it works. So let's see, GPS, and auto. Yeah, it's pretty wide, eh? So all the way over that way. Maybe not all the way over, because I don't want to run into stuff. And let's do turn the wheel, turn the lines off, and turn F1 off, turn that off, and hit the go button. I'm gonna lift that up again. Let her line herself up. And drop it down and go. So if I'm lucky, the wheels are inside the furrows, which they are. And we're getting our third stage of fertilization. This is not exciting work. 11 kilometers an hour is kind of a maximum. See if I can keep that out of the bushes over there. Come on, you can do it. Okay, that's about as far as I can go with that. Let's back this up. Get back on GPS, let her reverse herself. Put her in position. Put her back in forward gear. Drop the weeder, and we're off again. That should give us pretty full coverage of everything. Which is pretty cool. So again, the weeder you pay $31,000 for, and then you own it. So it's pretty darn handy. In the long run, if you consider the cost of fertilization, the cost of chemicals, and also the economic impact or the environmental impact of the chemicals, if you wanted to simulate that, this is not a bad opportunity to play with a different machine. Okay, good. So let's go and back it up again. I'm not sure if it's gonna work. I'm gonna keep it out of there. Nope, not gonna work. Okay. Let's get that off of there. Try not to hit a building with it. Backing up, backing up, backing up. And then, okay, good. This thing has a great sound to it. Alright, and off we go again. We'll come down this hill a little bit. Then we'll make the curve slightly. Then we'll hit the auto button. And she will line us up with that last row. Beautifully done. Alright. This is not bad. So because I didn't plow these fields this season, I'm going to lose 10% of my productivity that way. Well, actually 5% of my productivity that way because it's a 10% boost on productivity. But come the fall, after I harvest this, I've got a strategy for how I can get that back. So that next year, will be fully and completely fertilized, plowed, and everything, with no need for chemicals or sprays. Let's see here. Alright. Then GPS, and down she goes. Alright, well, you guys don't need to watch me do 3 fields of this. I'm gonna get it done. And then I got some quiet time, I guess, over the summer, because all I'm gonna be doing is minding my greenhouses while these potatoes come up to speed. I might do an episode or 2, because I'm gonna be doing some grass work for Alan as an employee. He's gonna be hiring me in the late summertime to do some of that. Put a little bit more money back into the coffers of the farm. And then in the fall, we have a lot of potatoes to harvest. And you know me, we are not going to be renting the giant grimy potato harvester. We're going to be doing potatoes the cheap way. Cheap but labor intensive, so I'm hoping to hire a few people to help me with that. We'll see. And up and turn. Up in here. All right, that's it. Good. You guys have a great night. We'll talk to you tomorrow.